Welcome to Cypher 2024. Today we have a head of customer engineering at Google Cloud, Rajesh Shewani. So hello sir, how are you?
Hi.
Hi. So I wanted to ask you about the bigger the model gets, the complex it gets to know from where it has concluded the given information, known as a black box phenomenon.
Yeah.
So when we specifically think about applications of AI in healthcare, or let's say very sensitive areas like army or somewhere, so we like how long would it take for us to believe this tech, because it will be dealing with lives in its hands. So what's your opinion about it?
It depends on what area within healthcare or defense or the sensitive sectors is actually you're saying, you're addressing. Because we have to realize that all answers will not always be the same. It is not a deterministic modeling.
Exactly.
This is a generated model, right? Which means there will be instances where you will not get the same answer every time that you run the model. So if your objective is to get a deterministic output every time, like predicting the likelihood of something happening, then maybe GenAI is not the right thing. Then you would use your first trial traditional AI or neural networks, machine learning models that have worked very well in actually determining that, right? But having said that, we work with a lot of healthcare companies, instruments in healthcare. For example, in understanding visual media, so the whole multimodality that I'm talking about, detecting a certain tuberculosis as an example from an X-ray of a chest. You already done that with a healthcare provider in India.
Correct.
Those use cases are good because there you're actually determining the output from any which. But if you're saying, and one thing we don't want to do at the moment at least is give this to, let's say, the end consumer. For example, there are organizations who thinking, Mal, give me your symptoms and I'll prescribe you possibly something, app, right? Yeah, so that you're engaging with customers too. But we try to stay away from that because, like I said, it may not always be the right answer. And there is an implication about what works, what doesn't work. So it depends on what specific scenario in healthcare you're solving. There are very good examples where this can work, where there's enough or no data points to, whereas some where it doesn't make sense.
Similar to AlphaFold, right? Like, yeah.
AlphaFold is a very good example where it essentially tells you the protein folding or predicts the protein folding structures of certain molecules.
Correct.
That also, you're doing it you're running it iteratively. You're not saying I run it once and I go with that common necessity for to say how a particular molecule will react. You're taking a combination of multiple iterations.
Correct.
And on the basis of that, a decision to say whether how will it react? Let's say a new vaccine, how will it react to a certain molecule versus how it will not react? So AlphaFold is a very good example where there's a lot of data to back up whatever it thinks.
Correct. So on social media, there is one trend going on that multiple users are saying that I want my AI to do my wishes so I can do my art.
Yes.
But it is going backwards, that AI is doing all the creative work and we are going back to the blue label kind of thing. So what do you think about it?
No, I think I read that too. By the way, I know it was on some Twitter feed that I read it was a business. I think that's why the whole robotic world that we are seeing, where there's so much work that's happening in this space. And again, there's a whole discussion around one of the first things that these humanoid robotics will do is essentially some of the household work, potentially. Yeah, right? So I think that's the direction it's taken. Of course, it's working even in shop floors and factories. In fact, Google is collaborating with a very large player to say, how can we use these robots in a combination of a physical manifestation of an AI model, of an LLM model, on the shop floor, in a car factory or in a machine factory and so on. You'll see more of those applications. But at the moment, I think it will try and solve problems that can go as an input to another area, like the creative world you're saying, but even on the medical field, or I would say, think about this as a very high-powered assistant that it began with, organization, discovery, and now, of course, the creative elements to it. But it's also now tackling the back office. So, for example, in voice processing, integration with RPAs, all of that work is starting to happen as well. So it's the creative, but also the grunt work, what I mean, the repetitive tasks that a shared service provider would do. That is the next task. It's at this. The repetitive task of, I know an FAQ and I need to respond as a support channel, as a call center, as an example.
Correct.
That it is addressing.
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah, correct. Okay. Okay, so my last question. How was your experience with Cypher 2024?
I've just come some time back, but I've attended the previous edition.
Okay.
I think the theme, of course, this year is AI and Gen AI.
Yeah.
That is the big part of right now. I think it was good to see the buzz and so many people showing their enthusiasm to learn, to understand. I mean, I was just walking in on some of the booths here. I can see that energy and the enthusiasm. I think it's really great to see.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rajesh, for having.